Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joe, and welcome back for sneak peek number 4 of the Winter 2019 update. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Yeti. Dude, check this guy out, man. He is massive with some Yeti mites and a basket on his back. Very interesting design, but he's also really cool and a very unique troop. But first, quick disclaimer, this is a developer build. Anything that you see in this video may or may not change upon the release of the update. So in the last couple days, you might have seen some pictures or something of the level 14 barracks. So the level 14 barracks will be unlocked at Town Hall 12, and with it you will be gaining the Yeti. So the Yeti will be available at Town Hall 12 with additional levels being added on at Town Hall 13. Now this is a seriously powerful elixir based tanking unit. 270 points for damage per second, 3,500 hit points. That's 100 more hit points than an ice golem maxed out. It also spawns troops, the Yeti mites. Now it does not have a specified target. It targets any building, and it has a housing space of 18 points. So it's 3 more points than an ice golem. So that's where it kind of the trade-off is. Now as we take a look at the description below, this heavy hitting furry fellow digs cold weather and his Yeti mite buddies. Hurt him and you'll make the Yeti mites real angry. And the Yeti mites are actually really cool. And this is where things change up. The Yeti mites favorite target is defenses at damage times 4. It has area splash damage. It targets both ground and air and a movement speed of 24. So from here, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay, and I'll show you some statistics for the level 1 and level 2 Yeti as we move through the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the Yeti in action, and the Yeti it's dangerous, man. It targets any building, so let's go ahead and drop one on the Siege Machine Workshop, and it's going to be targeted by the Expo. Now, I want you to pay attention to the Yeti. As the Expo targets the Yeti, it's going to kick out Yeti mites, which are also going to attack that defense. So the Yeti is going to transition into the Expo and attempt to take it down with the assistance of the Yeti mites. Now, I believe it's going to be successful, and it's going to move over to the Dark Elixir Barracks. Now, once it comes into range of that archer tower, the archer tower is going to in fact take out the Yeti, and it's going to spawn 5 different Yeti mites, which are going to target that archer tower and take it down. That is incredibly dangerous, absolutely dangerous. All right, so we're going to place one right here and try to find a spring trap. There's a pre-placed spring trap there, and just like the ice golem, when this troop hits a spring trap, it will launch that special ability in the Yeti mites. So we're going to drop one there, and then we're going to drop one on this wizard tower. Now there is a skeleton trap, a ground set skeleton trap pre-placed here, and so this is what this is to show you that it will stop the Yeti from moving to the defense, and we'll have to deal with the skeletons first. So the Yeti is going to move into that wizard tower, and it's going to continue on this trend with dropping Yeti mites in order to help the Yeti take down this defense. We have a few more defenses left. I believe there is a hidden Tesla over there. And so let's go ahead and take out a hidden Tesla. Looks like we got a Yeti moving over towards that Expo, and it's going to in fact take out this Expo, if I remember correctly. It's going to go into this Expo, and the Yeti mites are going to take it down. That's incredibly dangerous. Like, that is really cool. All right, so let's see if we can take down the town hall with one, finding a giant bomb. It takes a little bit of damage from the giant bomb, and we're going to go into this town hall taking on the Giga Inferno Tower. So the Giga Inferno Tower is shooting both the Yetis and the Yeti mites, and then the Yeti mites are going to spawn and almost take this town hall down. Wow. That's too much, man. That's absolutely too much. So from here, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, and we're going to set up a few attacks and do some attacks with this and try to build some armies for this and see what it really does. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put together a spam type attack, and every new troop you got to try it out and see if you can actually spam it. And I must remind you that this troop is 18 housing space, so it's more than likely, actually it's highly unlikely that you're going to see any more than maybe 1 or 2 of these troops in an army composition, but we'll have to wait and see what the more competitive players do and what they come up with in order to incorporate this troop into their armies. But over there on the left side of the screen, we're going to do some funneling with the Yetis, and they're going to take out multiple buildings. So looks like we got about 5, maybe 4 or 5 of them over there working on multiple buildings, taking out defenses. You got the Yeti mites. They do jump walls, and they will target the Expo and take it out. Now there is a scatter shot over there working on them, and we dropped the remaining group of Yeti, about 10 to 12 of them with the Wall Wrecker, a few Giants, Queen, and the Grand Warden. And then we're going to use some Earthquake spells to open up the entire base, basically send all of our Yetis straight through the core of this base. And I want you to see what it looks like to see a bunch of Yeti all together with the Yeti Mites running around taking out defense. You just noticed that the Inferno Tower was taken down by Yeti Mites. We got a group of Yeti Mites taking down a Wizard Tower, or about to take down a Wizard Tower. Now they can be targeted by other defenses, but we got that large group and they are dying quickly. So I mean, we can definitely determine that we're not going to be able to spam them, but they are quite dangerous regardless, with the Yeti Mites running through the base targeting multiple defenses, almost taking down an Expo. Looks like it's about to, but the Grand Warden strikes it. Down goes that Expo, and then we also have one more Inferno Tower. So again, based on this analysis, we're not going to be able to spam attack with it, which is definitely a good thing. And so from here, let's go ahead and get into a different attack. So at this point, we're just kind of playing with some different ideas, incorporating the Yeti into current meta attacks with the P.E.K.K.A.s and the Witches, and just kind of seeing what it can do. I wanted to see if it could be a decent funneler, and so I added some healers. I did try it out by itself, and it is very slow. It takes on all buildings. It's not necessarily a defensive seeker, so taking on the outer exterior buildings and having to deal with the defenses at the same time, it does die quickly, and the Yeti Mites only take out about one defense. So again, it's not really a strong funneler like the Electro Dragon, but we're going to basically send a large group of Yeti in with the Wall Wrecker and some P.E.K.K.A. And I want you to watch the Yeti as they work into this location, and the Yeti Mites are going to jump in and target that single target Inferno Tower. So this might be a possible usage right here where the Yeti Mites are able to go in and take down an important defense like the Inferno Towers or something like that, but we'll see how that works out, because you have to protect that Yeti up until that point, and that's a lot of protection for one large troop. So we got a group in the core of the base. Our Queen is kicked on the outside. We do have bats in this composition just to kind of mess with those against the scatter shot. Again, that's a big concern with the bats versus the scatter shot. It does target them. I've had a lot of issues with it. And then we do have some Yeti that are working their way down towards the scatter shot. And so Yeti and an Ice Golem and some P.E.K.K.A. are working in towards that scatter shot, distracting and saving the life of our bats. And this attack does not actually turn into a 3-star. It's actually like a 75% or something like that. But we got P.E.K.K.A.s working their way in with the Yeti, and the Queen is working her way around the back side of the base, and the Yeti have worked their way into the core. So I mean, again, the Yeti Mites they do help out quite a bit. They do a lot of damage to these defenses, but regardless, it's just one of those things that it's not like the bats work and swarm the whole backside of a base, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to determine or justify saying taking more than one or two of these troops and it being beneficial. So from here, let's go ahead and get into that 3-star attack, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up this video on a good note. So we got one of those witch armies. The conditions are perfect with the 3 Inferno Towers set to single target, and it's kind of setting it up for a little bit of a show to apply our Yeti. Now we're going to drop all 5 of our Yeti over there on the far left side of the screen in order to do a little bit of funneling. The King is on the opposite side setting up the funnel, and we're going to send the Witches and Bowlers through the core of this base, and we have bats for the back end. Now again, we got to keep that scatter shot busy in order to move the bats through the base, because that scatter shot is extremely dangerous. So the Yetis they're doing some damage. The Yeti Mites are doing a lot of damage to different defenses, but again, it's not taking out one single defense. It's doing damage to multiple defenses. We got the Wall Wrecker dropped, we got the Bowlers, we got the Witches, and they're going to work their way into 2 different locations. And we got a nice split here, actually. We got the Bowlers and Witches that are going to work their way around the south side, and we have a group that work their way in towards the Town Hall. And so the group that's near the Town Hall are going to get slowed down by that frost effect from the Town Hall. And then we're going to drop another Rage to power our troops through this location. Since I didn't bring a jump spell, we're kind of making room for the bats and the freeze spells. Got to deal with this Clan Castle troops, and the Bowlers and Witches that are working their way around the 6 o'clock of the base are going to take out multiple buildings over there. We're going to drop all 6 of our bat spells over there on the left side of your screen, flanking the outer defenses, taking out air defense and a bomb tower, working up into an archer tower. And this is where we got to start worrying about that scatter shot, trying to get some range on our freeze spell to freeze the expos and freeze that wizard tower to give our bats time. And we will actually, in fact, have a retarget by that scatter shot. It's going to take out some of our bats. It's going to fire at the bats that were on the expo, which unfortunately stopped the expo, or stopped the bats from taking out the expo. So again, that's one of those things that we do have to take into consideration and worry about for those of you that like that kind of army. We use that final freeze spell to shut that expo down and give our queen some time. That way we can preserve the life of her ability and save it for the back end of the base. I mean, at this point, you notice that we lost all of our bats. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know. It's really one of those things. We're just kind of playing with the Yetis, see what it does, how we can apply it. But I really, at this point, based on my determination, I just don't justify taking more than one or two. But we'll see how that plays out in the upcoming future. My question for you is, how would you use it? I mean, remember, it's 18 housing, so you really got to take that large housing space into consideration, kind of like the Ice Golem, but obviously with 3 more housing space. If you enjoyed the content today, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.